Dylan, how are you?
Hi,
How
how's
are
it
you
going?
doing?
Not
I'm
too
good,
bad.
man. How are you? What are your thoughts on last Friday's performance? Obviously, a disappointing result, but what are your thoughts on the performance?
Yeah, obviously very disappointing with the result. It was just one of them games we kind of huffed and puffed a little bit, but ultimately, obviously, it wasn't good enough, and um, we need to do better. I think you can talk about conditions and pitches and how bad or good they were, but at the end of the day, 3 points the most important thing. It's not really about performances. Obviously, we want to play better and stuff, but we obviously want to win the game. And it's disappointing. I think they might have had one half shot on target in the whole game. I think we created a good few chances, but we just couldn't seem to get the ball over the line. But yeah, obviously disappointing.
Obviously, a lot of new players coming into the club this year. Obviously, you're playing in a new division. Is it going to take time for you all to click? And I suppose the second point to that is, do you have time to be able to click because it's such a competitive division?
Yeah, obviously I've experience in this division and I know how competitive it is and how tough it is. There isn't any easy games, and especially this year, looking around at the league this year, it looks like it's going to be probably the toughest it's been in a long time. So I think, are we a completely brand new team? Not really. We do have one or two new bodies in, but I think the majority of us have been together now for, well, apart from myself, the rest of the boys have been together for a good few years. Have played with each other up through the age groups and all know each other really well. I think the group is quite gelled and stuff like that. I think it's more. I think we had a good pre-season. We performed well in pre-season. I think it's now just we have to make sure that it transfers into the league. Obviously, it's only the second game, so there's no real pressure just yet. But obviously, we do want to start properly and make sure that we win every game. We want to win every game regardless. So.
Athlone Town coming to the cross down Friday night. They've had a fantastic start to the season with 4 points from their opening two games. Have you been impressed by them?
Yeah, I know a lot of the lads that play for Athlone, a lot of the new lads that have gone there. Lots of experience, even though they're not, you wouldn't say they're a very old team or have a lot of older players in the team, but definitely a lot of experience. The likes of Adam Wickstead's been around for years. He's only the same age as me. James Duna, Killian Cantwell, Dan McKenna, they're all very, very good players. So we will definitely have to look out and obviously we'll be doing our own homework on them. But look, we have to concentrate on ourselves and make sure that we perform properly, and then we can worry about what they do. But realistically, this year we need to worry about making sure that we perform properly and making other teams have to deal with us.
Very good. Just first question, I suppose, Dylan, is 2 games in. How would you? What's your assessment of your performances so far in the 2 matches?
Bit slow, maybe starting. Whether that's just start of the season jitters or whatever, but obviously not great. But it's definitely going to improve, I think, as the season goes on and as people start to get more comfortable and stuff like that. The first game of the season is always a fight and it's always a scrap. I can never remember playing the first game of the season where I thought that was a good game. They're always scrappy and everybody's kind of just excited to be back, and it just kind of, the quality isn't really there. Second game of the season, I think we're still kind of finding our feet. People are still getting kind of match fitness and stuff like that. But it can be better. It can definitely, we definitely have a lot to work on, and we have been working on it.
Yeah, just that, your opening game, obviously you got the 3 points without being brilliant on the night. Do you think there was an improvement in the next game, or was it on par?
I think definitely there was improvements. I think we moved the ball much better against Cabinteely without there really being a cutting edge to it, but that's partly got to do with how Cabinteely set up. They are over the years, I've always found them to be a very hard team to break down. If they can stay in the game for long, they get their backs up and they do really dig in, and they are really tough to play against, especially at Stradbrook. But I think definitely we created a lot more chances. We were better on the ball. We just maybe need to do things a bit quicker and maybe play with just a bit more intensity, probably. The chances are definitely there. We just need to finish them.
Yeah, Colin was saying there that you have a lot of attacking quality in this squad. Is it just about then, creating chances, taking them when they come, and you'll be all right in that department? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like I've full confidence in this squad. Like there is a lot of quality in the team, especially even in the younger lads who maybe don't have a lot of experience. You can definitely see from the first 2 games that they're ready. Do you know what I mean? We are a younger team this year. There is a lot of lads that are playing kind of really starting the season for the first time, like fully. So it might take a couple of games for everybody just to get there, kind of thing. But definitely we have a lot of quality going forward. We will create a lot of chances. It is just about putting our chances away. I think, like I said, starting quicker, maybe doing things a little bit quicker, and I think fitness wise, not a lot of teams will be able to deal with us, and I think quality wise will definitely be up there.
Yeah. Are you happy yourself with your own performances so far? Yeah.
Never. I'm never really. I don't think any good player is ever really happy with their performances. I feel like I should have probably scored early on against Cove in the first game, which I'm disappointed about. Cabinteely, I felt like maybe I didn't affect the game as much as I would have wanted to either, but obviously there are things that we work on, and obviously as the season goes on, and match fitness and match sharpness starts to really come into play. Definitely I want to improve on it.
Yeah, another big test for you then on Friday night at Athlone Town. I was talking to Colin there saying that a lot of people put them down as one of the dark horses, a really new look team from where they finished nearly bottom last year, Dylan, but a new look team. You mentioned the likes of Adam Wickstead, and they have a lot of quality in their team, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They really do. And even speaking to a couple of lads that I know off the team, they're for the last few years, like Athlone in the first division, have kind of been not great. Like every time you would expect to win the game, like, and this season, like I don't think you can, especially looking at their squad. Like you have to respect the players that they've brought in. They've really put together a good side, and they will be very dangerous going forward. So it is something that we're going to have to look out for. But like I said previously, like I fully believe that as long as we make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing, we'll let other teams worry about us. We need to make sure that we're performing to the level that this team can, and imposing our style of play in the game, and then going from there in matches, then dealing with game management as the game goes on.
Yeah, just a final question for me then, Dylan. How important is it, mentioned that the divisions were very strong this season. How important is it not to leave other, stronger teams get too much of a points lead on you? Like, how important is it to get something on Friday night,
I think it definitely is important from my experience in the league. Like, you have to kind of make sure that you're thereabouts for the majority of the season. A good start always helps, but it really is that mid-season period, that middle of the season period, where it really comes into the play and you really see who's going to be up there and thereabouts come the end of the season. So not too fussed at the moment, but definitely we want to do better, and we want to make sure that we win every game this season that we possibly can. So that starts from the first game of the season until the very last game of the season. So it is one of them things where we have to make sure that we're getting the results that we need to be getting.
Just wondering, like you mentioned fitness, do you think like the fact that you're full-time that will kind of make a difference over the season?
Yeah, I think fully. Obviously this is our full-time job. We're not really having to concentrate on anything else. Like this is what we do every single day. So I think fitness wise, recovery wise, and actually managing loads on players will probably have a hand to play. You would hope so anyway. Fitness levels, the fact that we're training every single day, you would hope that would come to play as well. But I guess obviously as well as that adds pressure on that we are a full-time squad. You would expect us to. We would expect from ourselves to make sure that we're doing well, and we are really validating the fact that we are full-time kind of thing. So I think fitness levels, we are very, very fit. I think the lads, the strength and conditioning coaches have done a good job, as well as Colin and Cotts over the pre-season and really getting us going. And I think we are covering good amount of ground. We are working hard in games. So I think definitely it will be a big factor in how we play. We play a high pressing, high intensity game. So it will definitely come into play, I think, over the course of the season.
Okay, and you've been in the division before. Do you think that will actually, like, or do you think you'll get more chances, or like compared to last season, will there be more opportunities for you personally?
Personally, yeah. Like much, definitely. I think last year we were kind of going into games pretty much on the back foot from the get-go, and we were expected to kind of sit in, go forward when we could, like, but where this year we're looking to really dominate possession and really create chances and play good attacking, exciting football, which I think will benefit me. I've scored 16 goals in this division before, so it's something that I really want to make sure that I'm getting back to again, which is hitting the net consistently and creating as much chances as I possibly can. And
is it like has it been hard? Like you're from Dublin, has it been hard, we'll say, being kind of locked down or being away from sort of family or friends in Dublin?
Yeah, it has been, to be fair. I think by this time last year, before lockdown and stuff, I'd gone home pretty much every 2 or 3 weeks in the pre-season and obviously the first 5-6 weeks of the season as well. I got to stay up a couple of times after we played in Dublin. But obviously you're not able to do it at this time, so I haven't seen my family as much as I would have liked to. It's kind of more just kind of keeping in contact on FaceTime and stuff like that. So it can be difficult, and you can feel a bit missing people and stuff like that. But obviously, I'm fully concentrated on what we have to do down here. Like I want to make sure that this club has a good season and goes back to where we need to be and where we should be. So that's kind of where my concentration is on. That's how I'm dealing with it, kind of.
Does that bring you closer to your teammates as well, to your kind of bubble?
Yeah, definitely. Like the lads in the house, we are all kind of tight together, and you have to be like everybody needs social interaction, and obviously we're in a lucky position that we can come in every day and do our job relatively normal. Obviously, we still have to follow a lot of guidelines and stuff like that while we're here, but we can get our social interactions that we need, like to keep people sane really. So it does definitely help that you have the lads in the house and you have your bubble here that you can interact and obviously have a laugh and at the right times.
So are you living with some of the lads from the team?
Yeah. We're a couple of the lads, me, the new lad Giannis, and Keane Bagby, Keane Murphy, and Ronan Hurley. So we're all quite knit together. And kind of look after each other. I would say I'm the older one in the house, but I'm not really the dad.
Are you? I suppose. Look, obviously you would have played with Longford in 2018. Look, I would have seen a lot of you there. Obviously with Bray as well in 2019. Do you think? Obviously, I know they all say this is probably the most competitive first division in years, but I suppose looking at it from 2018, 2019 to now, how improved do you think the first division has got since then?
I think massively. I think, like you said yourself, Andy, you would have seen what Athlone would have been like in 2018, 2019. You would have seen what Wexford were like, and it was definitely not as competitive. And then when you look around it now, like you have Galway, Shells, Bray, UCD, us, all big clubs, do you know what I mean? And then even when you look at Athlone, like the squad Athlone put together is very competitive. Wexford will be very competitive. They've gotten more competitive over the years. Treaty obviously are an unknown quantity at the moment, so nobody really knows kind of how they're going to fare. But definitely, if you look quality-wise of players in this division, I think I've seen somebody said there the other day that the Shells squad this year probably has more Premier Division experience than they did last year. So it is one of them cases where I think definitely looking around at the league, from my experience, definitely looks like it's going to be probably one of the strongest divisions this year.
Absolutely. And as I know you just mentioned there, maybe changing mentalities from, going into games maybe on the back foot to going on the front foot now. Has that been hard maybe to adapt for you as a player, or do you not really take too much notice of it?
Not too really. I think naturally my way of play as a footballer would try to be on the front foot. Naturally for me, it wouldn't be that common for me to go up to start games on the back foot. So it is a welcome kind of relief nearly that we're going to have, well, we're going to try to dominate the ball and create as much chances as we possibly can. Obviously, it's more exciting for the fans. The fans know that they're going to go to games and they're going to see chances. They're going to see exciting attack and play. So I think that will be definitely, when the fans come back, it will definitely be a welcome relief. But definitely, I think that we want to make sure that we're up there at the top of the division. So we do want to be creating chances and dominating the ball and being on the front foot from the get-go.
And this was just lastly for me anyway. Obviously, as we mentioned, you would have actually played with a lot of the Athlone guys before. Obviously, Jamie Hollywood, Tristan O'Kaufman, like there's a few obviously. So you know what you're coming up against. Yeah,
definitely. Like even, I think they signed 4 of the lads off the Bray team that I played with in 2019 as well. Derek Daly, Killian Cantwell, Brandon McCann. So I know actually probably nearly the whole starting 11 at this stage. So I do definitely know what we need to look out for and stuff. And like I said, you do have to respect the players that they've brought in. They're all vastly experienced, even though they're not, you wouldn't say that they were that old. So definitely, like, I'm going to know what we're going to have to look out for as well. But obviously they're going to know what they're going to have to look out for as well. So we want to be making teams worry about us rather than worry about other teams.